The story of healing a long distance driver. Um, this is something that happened just a few days ago, and it's a story that has got an important lesson for everyone, as well as a twist in the tale. So, before I move on, with this video, I'd like to ask you a special favor. For those of you who likes the content of my video, please also do not forget to like and also subscribe if you haven't yet to my channel. This will greatly help my channel to reach out to more people. And while you're at it, just a additional optional extra, share it with just one other person or your social media, and drop a comment. I would very highly appreciate that. But anyway, irrespective of everything, I am thankful and very appreciative for your time. And I know time is so precious these days because life is very, very busy. It's evolving so fast. So, for those of you who don't know me, I am Osman. I'm a bioenergy healer on a master level with telepathic healing capabilities. I specialize in critical care recovery and terminal illnesses, amongst a host of other physiological, psychological, and even spiritual ailments. I have a 10-minute anxiety fix for just $5, less than the price of a Starbucks coffee, delivered to you telepathically, instantly, wherever you are, and you only pay for any of my healings after I've completed and you're fully satisfied. If you're not satisfied, we don't want your payment, and it's fine. Okay, so very safe, and I'm doing this for a long time as well. So I'm also an advanced level yoga and meditation teacher, having practiced this art form for almost 50 years and teaching for 44 years. And in that time, I've studied under various masters from different schools of thought, different cultures across the globe, from the Far East, the Middle East, and the Western, including um, uh, the scientific community as well. To that end, I now have created many amazing protocols of my own, adapted to the 21st century, basically making things faster, quicker, easier, more time efficient and results orientated. I have my favorite protocol, the 5-minute yoga and meditation program, which you can download for free by visiting my website yogawellness786.com, and where you can get more information about my services and contact information. And also, this download is in exchange to subscribing to my blog. And I also have now students in over 100 countries. So also remember that all my therapies are natural based and not a replacement for medical treatment. So coming back to this healing story, basically, was traveling a long distance, intercity, and uh, it was like about an 8-hour, journey up and down. And on my way down, returning from my my appointment, uh, there was sitting next to me, and we were traveling by intercity bus, a long distance driver, and he mentioned that he had to, his work is to deliver vehicles that are purchased by various dealerships by people from distant cities. So he is employed to take, to deliver the vehicle to those people. Once delivered, he normally takes the bus back, to the city where I was going to, right? And he had not slept for about 2 days in this occasion, and he's been doing it now for about 2 years. And uh, then what actually happened was, while we were almost like to the tail end of the journey, um, I got to know a little bit more about him, that in the 2 years of delivery, normally does about 13 vehicle deliveries per week, and he gets paid only when he's working. So no work, no pay. If he's not delivering a vehicle, he gets nothing. He gets paid for, weekly for all the deliveries is done for that week. And it does, I mean, you can't handle all 13 long distance, in the week. There's only 7 days in the week. But many are locals, and he tries to get as many as possible. And he informed me that he only manages to sleep in his bed once a week. Normally, he's sleeping at gas stations or petrol stations and rest areas, in the vehicle, not sleeping in a bed, right? And he's been doing this for about 2 years. I said, wow. And he said currently he's so tired, and he hadn't, had proper sleep, and he's gonna enjoy that sleep when he goes home. But toward the tail end of the journey, he received a call from his company that they want him to go to a distant city that's going to take another 18 hours just to drive there, right? And he was already very tired. And he accepted the job because he couldn't refuse it, because they said there's no other drivers. All the other drivers are out, and he's the only one coming back. And does he want it? Or actually, not they didn't ask whether he wanted that. They told him he must do it, right? Of course, he's got the option to accept or refuse. So he accepted, but he was complaining to me. He said he's so tired, he's got no idea how he's going to make it. I said, okay, just try to rest, rest now, firstly, immediately. And when you take the vehicle and go, at the first rest stop, just take a power nap, like a 10, 20 minutes or a 20-minute power nap, and then, move on and try not to drive, follow the safety rules of long distance driving, which no one follows normally. But this time, try to follow it. Every 2 hours, stop for about 10, 15 minutes, freshen yourself, wash your face, or, sleep for at least 10, 15 minutes, in between, it will help you. And he was very helpful with me as well, because I'm a blind person. He helped me a lot, to go and take me to go to the, when we stopped halfway, to for me to be able to get a coffee and so forth. That's it, for being so helpful to me, as well. And seeing you are in a and I felt sorry for him. And I'm an energy healer, right? And he's just burnt out with exhaustion, right now. So I said, what I'll do is, I'm normally very powerful, with my healing. I will send for you a healing session immediately, tonight as well, as soon as I reach home. And so that, to remove most of your tiredness, so that you can make the journey, safely, and reach your destination safely. So he was also worried because the city he was going to, there are a lot of police, and he had a lot of outstanding, warrants, for not paying his traffic fines, and things like that. And they always check for outstanding warrants. And he was worried, and he was worried that he might even get arrested. In addition to, if he makes it to that city, in one piece, 18 hours. And then I said, no, I'll just pray for, do some energy healing for your protection, and so that you can go safely, reach safely, your journey. And when you get back home, try to rest up first and connect with me and so forth, right? And let me know how everything went. And then when I reached home, as soon as possible, within an hour or so, or 2 hours, myself, I was very exhausted, because um, it was like, a very quick long distance journey to get there, sleeping just a few hours, get up first thing in the morning, go for my appointment, finish it, immediately book the next bus, get on it, hop back. And usually I'm resting in the bus, I normally meditate, and meditate brings about restfulness better than sleep. Sleep, you get restfulness. Meditation, you get like exponential rest, right? In the body, mind, in the spirit. So an 8-hour journey, I normally feel it like 15, 20 minutes. So maybe with a 20-minute break, let's say, like about 45. I don't feel longer than an hour. I don't feel the journey, because I'm very I can't go into deep meditation because the bus is moving, and also I maybe am conscious of being, in a surroundings full of people and so forth, but in like a semi-conscious state, throughout, and really enjoying it, right? Because I do a special meditation which is absolutely, enjoyable, called the Big Daddy meditation, which in my other videos I speak about it. So the key part of this, I was so tired, and I already promised him, honestly, I couldn't do any energy healing. I just wanted to rest. But I'm in this field where sometimes you're so tired and something is critical and urgent. You do it, and he was so exhausted. I said, no, man. I promised him, I wanted to have a rest, a nap, power nap, before I do it. But I said, I'm so tired. My body, I could feel my body is tired. Maybe my power nap might be 6 to 8 hours. I may just get knocked out. But I can sleep very well, fortunately. And I said, no, let me just do it first. And then I did the session for him. Man, when I was doing the session, was I tired, right? And I could feel the tiredness. And after I completed the session, I just went to rest. When I got up, when I'm doing energy healing for someone who's very critically ill in intensive care unit, or on the edge of their life, the last thread of their life, and the medical professionals have uh, given up hope and expecting the worst, and they contact the family to come and be with the person, and I'm doing the energy healing for such a person, and especially that person, I don't know why. If it's female, it's much harder. It seems like women only exhibit signs of sickness when they're really very sick, and men don't have the same threshold. Women have a much higher threshold. When a woman is sick, she is double the sick of when a man says he's equally sick. When a man says I'm feeling very sick and a woman says very sick, a woman is double very sick usually. So they probably have a higher threshold for pain, maybe due to the capacity for childbirth. And I always get worried if I have to do energy healing for a woman because it's very draining, right? And especially an older woman, man, it's the thing. So it's really, very difficult, and it drains me so much. I I get I get extremely ill temporarily, right? Sometimes it takes me 3 days to overcome it, sometimes up to 2 weeks, right, to overcome it, generally speaking. And normally this happens only with very serious illnesses and with terminal illnesses, right? Critical care recovery and terminal illnesses, which I'm specializing in. So why I'm mentioning that is when I woke up, I felt as though a truck went over me, right? And as though I was healing someone in intensive care unit, and I was wondering how come I'm feeling so sick. I'm dealing all. He's a young guy. He's 32 years old, right? And and he's not driving for long. He's driving for 2 years, but 2 years. Then I remember 2 years long distance, only sleeping in his bed once a week means he's getting deprived of sleep, sleeping in gas stations, in the car, in between whatever 20 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours sleep that he can get in between, and when he's returning with public transport or buses, trying to sleep, in the couch. This is not sleeping for 2 years. It totally draining. If you neglect your sleep, this is something very, very dangerous, right? It is something that can be fatal. I think maximum 3 days is that you can live without sleep before it becoming a fatality risk, right? And this guy is doing it, and I felt that impact. How can I tell him? He doesn't. That he must prioritize sleep, which I told him actually. While we were discussing, before I could even feel the negative, but when I felt the negative effect, I knew how bad it was. It is something very, very serious. Prioritize. Everyone should prioritize the sleep. So anyway, I got back, and I had to rest the day. I was very ill. I couldn't do everything normally. And then the following day, I was still feeling a bit ill. but about I would say 90% recovered because I sit and meditate, and the meditation helps me, to fast forward my recovery. And then someone I knew, met me, and I was saying, no, I'm not feeling, that well. It's normal. I'm doing energy heal, but I'm like more or less okay now. I'm 90% and so forth. He said, no, no, let me. You're always doing, massage for everyone and so forth. And it was actually also my birthday on that day. So he said, as a birthday gift, let me give you a massage, right? So no, I don't offer my body for massage to people, right? And I told her, usually I'm okay actually, and even now I'm okay. I don't have any body pain or anything. And she said, no, I just want to give it to you as a birthday gift, right? Just I said, okay. She said, just lie down on the couch. I'll just massage you, right? So I said, okay, fine. I don't want to be rude and this thing. So I said, okay. And I mean, I don't go to. I don't think I ever been. No, I've never been to a professional massage session. I have had. There's this massage chairs in in the airports and certain malls and so forth. You could put $1 in, or less than $1, a coin massaging. You sit, it does like a 2-minute massage. I used to enjoy that offer, on occasion, and it was amazing. So that's what I normally did, the most, because I don't have, I don't know what's a headache. I don't have toothache. I'm now 57 years old. I've had zero tooth decay or extractions as a result of tooth decay. I've only had cosmetic things done, where uh, you know the dentist was involved. But other than that, not for up to age of 57, fine. So this is an attestation to my long-term practice, almost 50 years practice of yoga. It is very powerful, right? In boosting your immune system or keeping you healthy, and also eating healthy and following a sensible diet, right? Not all the time. I mean, there were stages of my life I was really, a bit, I went off plan for about 20 years, I think. But I mean, more or less, even in that time, more or less, and keeping fitness, because yoga is not only yoga; it's also including endurance training and fitness training, strength training, right? Yoga is just like part of the flexibility side. You need flexibility, you need endurance, and you need strength training. So I told her, okay, this is where the twist comes. So, and she, and God bless her, or bless her soul, or I'm still thankful for what she did. Doesn't know how to massage, right? Because I know how to do energy massage, and my sessions are normally like an hour, 2 hours, sometimes 4, 5 hours long. Depending on the situation. It normally for like medical issues, like in the muscle, where the doctors could not resolve and a physiotherapist couldn't resolve. So I go in, and normally these are long standing problems. There are some of the patients having problems in a muscular pain or something for like 5 years, 10 years, 30 years, 35 years was the most that are resolved. So she did, I think, probably about 5 minutes, 5 minutes tops, I think, right? Yeah, so she just massaged my back and neck and body, and then my feet, from my knees down, right? I just lifted my pants up to she just said lift it to the knees, and then she massaged my feet as well, and it felt good, and said thank you very much, right? And then that same evening, when I saw her, she said she's very ill. Said, what? Maybe you ate something, What did you eat? She said, I said, no, this thing. She said, no, all these things, I don't. She ate some healthy stuff and she don't get sick from these things. Then it clicked, dawned on me. I said, hey, no, I don't really let anyone massage, and I'm recovering from this. Normally, when you're massaging someone, and she's also a spiritual person, right? So the negative energy will transfer. So, and I got a lot of negative energy from a lot of people, right? On ongoing. And I was at that time currently doing healing for about 6 people at the same time. It was actually five people, including the taxi driver, was number six. And I'm taking a lot of negative energy, and then I know how to wash it out, with meditation practice and hatha yoga and breath work and all that. So I recover fast. It's not like wash it out. I recover fast, with these yoga protocols and meditation protocols. And I still had some of the illness, from this taxi driver, and this would have transferred, and she got very sick. Then I just thought, okay, I was like 90% okay. And, I said, this is this thing. You'll be okay. You'll be fine. And then I met her the next day. Man, she's not doing well. She is in a very bad, and she got very worried. She started to get chest pains and everything. I said, oh my God. I said, it's not playing, I'm doing this professionally. So sometimes I'm taking for granted the levels of negative energy that I take. And then I said, okay, let me do a quick, because she practices what I taught her, right? I taught her breathwork practice and meditation, and she's not into hatha yoga. And I gave her a very simple strategy, right, that anyone can do, even in the bed. But she's not into that, and she's also following a very healthy plant-based diet, right? So I thought she'll be okay, and she's reaching advanced levels in the pranayama practice as well, and she's advanced levels in meditation, right? um, Third eye is already given confirmed signs of activation, because the light in the forehead has lit up already and permanently. This is that the pineal gland is reaching advanced levels of development, right? And the third eye is definitely awake and incrementally increasing in power before it becomes completely awake. That's the level she's in, right? So this is advanced level, right? So but you got, so then I said, okay, let me do a full session for you. And I do all my sessions telepathically, right? And these days, unless I'm forced to do it physically, because my energy levels, since I first managed to come into master level and be able to control the dormant life force energy, the high power energy, has reached like in the advanced level. So I reached advanced, and then it incrementally goes higher and higher and higher. I learn how to develop it, right? um, what people call the Kundalini energy. So it's not fully, I mean, it was fully awake and it's very powerful, right? It showed itself, but I've learned to control it. Not control, no one can control it. I learned how to interact with it and develop, have it to develop, because it is more intelligent than us, I believe, right? My belief. Uh, Incrementally, it doesn't overcome me detrimentally, right? Does overcome me every time, but just slightly, right? So I've increased 702 levels, right, of that power. 702 levels, right? This is how high the power is. And uh, and this person touched me. What actually happens is, when you, so this is not about the story only, it's about you as well, right? This is why the video is for you, right? The audience who's spending the time to reach this level of my video. Thank you so much. If you're coming, you are really a special person. And I'm not just saying that because you are watching so long. Not many people are inclined to this type of talk and this type of subject matters. And I'm normally explaining things in a very slow, careful manner. It becomes very boring for regular people. And it's deliberately done that way to be able to fish out the gems, the special jewels of society, the special um, bright lights. You are very special if you reach this point. So when you are touching someone else, the negative, or even thinking of, but especially you're touching them, you're going to directly absorb. If their negative energy is higher than yours, you're going to absorb that thing. And if your positivity is higher than theirs, your positivity is going to go to them, right? So you're going to both lose your positivity and gain the negativity. And depending the amount of negativity, it can be detrimental to you. So people generally are not very powerful, and they all have so much of negativity themselves. They touch each other, shake each other's hands, and I also, of course, shake my hands with anyone when you shake my hand, and not realizing that you can transfer energetic um, illnesses, which can be very dangerous. So I told this woman, you touch me. No, I don't let anyone massage me because I don't have body pains. But the negativity of all my healing, I'm doing healing for a lot of people, and I spiritually initialized, well over 100 people. I'm not in the thousands of spiritual initializations. And according to the theory of the spiritual initializations, you get all the negative for the life of that person. You connect it to that person, and you absorb all the negativity all the time. And I'm dealing with the negativity of those people, and I'm going into videos, YouTube channel. Sometimes there's like 20,000 impressions and other methods. I'm talking to so many people, and always interacting. I don't know, thousands of people's negative energy, coming into me. Um, so easily many hundreds, and currently, healing some from very powerful, illnesses. And it's just that because my energy level number 702, in my master level, there is a level above my level. It's called the grand master level. I don't know how many levels. Maybe I must reach 1,000 level or 110,000 levels before I reach grand master level. I've got no idea. I'm been practicing, on a daily basis to reach that. But my power level is so high, I'm not feeling the impact of all these negative energies, right? Because as an energy healer, this is my job. And I don't fright, I even risk my life many times and will gladly do it any day, to die, doing your, because I had this gift from childhood, and just that I studied very deeply to keep it more scientific, on a scientific basis, and so that it's not just something that I'm saying, like mystically, I got a gift and so forth. So it's something I say, no, I practice, and anyone can practice it and achieve it, right? If you put in the discipline and effort. I mean, so many people are doing certified courses on energy healing. I can, recommend you to an amazing course. I don't teach it myself in that way. I can activate in my sense, but to do a comprehensive course, if you want to do it properly with certification, international certification. UK based teacher school is in UK, and they also offer online and remote. This thing, it's an 18-month course covering crystals as well, and mysticism, as well as healing protocols and so forth. Very comprehensive, amazing. Come from a Western school of thought, right? Um, uh, for in that sense. So coming back, I said this is the thing, and I will do the healing, and I did the full healing session for her. And immediately after the session, I came to find out if she's okay. She said, no, she's okay. She's still feeling a bit sick, but she don't know anything. But she was busy preparing something for herself to eat. She wasn't eating all the whole day and so forth because she was feeling so sick. So now she's feeling hungry. I said, okay, I didn't want to mention. Means if you have an appetite, means you're already starting to feel okay. And I checked with her several hours later. She's fine. She had a chest pain and all that. And she said she don't think she can even do a breath work. I said, no, don't do the breath work. No matter how sick you are, do the breath work will make you better. Will push the illness out. It's not like a normal exercise because I taught her um, the advanced level, breath work. And she spiritually initialized as well. I said, no, don't leave it. And then she said, no, I'm sick. I'll do tomorrow. I said, okay, as you wish, but my recommendation is do it. And when I spoke to her several hours later as well, she said, no, she did do it and she completed it satisfactorily. And she didn't want to tell me, that she also had a chest pain and the chest pain is gone. I said, no, you'll be okay because I sent the energy healing, for you. Even if you didn't do the breath work, you're going to be fine. So this is the twist to the tale, I mean, I just met someone and out of courtesy, for him being helpful to me, and I didn't expect it's going to be so serious and going to take three it's going to take me 3 days to also recover. Still have to do everything that is required, right? I'm very busy um, with so many things, and healing people as well, and also trying to create videos and trying to manage my social media channel, and starting up a whole new um, campaign and mission, right? And project. This is a brand new project. That's the word I'm looking for. So I'm extremely busy. I know what's 5 minutes is so important, and that's why I appreciate everyone's time. So the takeaways from this is be careful who you connect with, and don't just let touch people indiscriminately, and go around massaging people if you're not a professional masseuse. Professional people, they got something internal, even if a normal massager, there's something inbuilt in them they have that gives them the power to do this professionally for people. And if someone is very ill and so forth, rather, I mean, you can't just say no. I mean, but don't be doing this type of thing, right? Massaging and all that, indiscriminately. And especially, you don't know, to spiritual people who's doing spiritual healing, that is number one. Don't do it, right? And but with regard to the problem of my patient, the long distance driver, I mean, he is killing himself. He's only 32. He doesn't know what he's doing to himself. And I even told him sleep is so. He said, "No, I need, if I don't work, I don't get money." So he prioritized money over his life. What is he going to do with the money? He's going to be in the grave. He's going to meet an accident from sleepiness. He's putting his life at risk because he's in the road. It's dangerous driving, right? Secondly, your health, 100%. If you're not getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep a night, your telomeres are getting shortened, brother, and it's going to impact you badly. But how badly? Within 2 years of being too busy working, it's going to be same as a terminal stage 4 cancer. Stage 4, not just terminal, stage 4 cancer, or critical care. You're in ICU and they just want to pull out the plug, and you're not responding to any medication, and they're expecting the worst, and at the point where they're calling the family. At that level of this thing, this guy, 32 years, only 2 years he neglected, he's sleeping every day, right? But not properly. This is how dangerous lack of sleep would be, right? So hope that information helps you. Take care of yourself always.